and welcome to Mrs. Patnell's Phonics. This is for Group 1, so we are dealing with the Phase 2 sounds. And can I say, we have nearly finished all those Phase 2 sounds, which is a bit exciting. Bit exciting indeed. Think of all the words you can now read that you couldn't read before. Okay, so today's lesson will look at the new sound, and this looks proper strange to look at, doesn't it? And actually, although it looks tricky to write, what I generally find in the classroom is that when people start trying to write the cursive, they do it amazingly. So I have given away what the sound of the day is today. It is okay. And the action is to imagine you got an inflatable blow-up fish, okay, that you might put in the swimming pool on holiday. So it's been blown up and it's all pumped up, but now you're letting the air out. So we're going to do this movement with our hand, and while we're doing it, we're going to make the sound of air coming out, which also is the sound of the day. So we're going to say, so our teeth are kind of pushing down on our bottom lip, okay? So, and our mouths are open, and we are saying, and what you're doing is puffing air out between the gaps in your teeth as you say it. And that's what gives you that sound, the sound of the day. Now, I want to tell you as well while we're here that the sound of the day could also look like this. There could be two of them together. Now, when they are together, they are still one sound, okay? So we call two letters making one sound a digraph. Okay, it's not important, you don't have to remember the word digraph, but it simply means two letters but coming together to make only one sound. So when you see the sound of the day like this, you don't say f, f, it's just still one f. So these two are the same. F, f, still only one sound. But what happens with these two, they tend to come at the end of a word, okay, or often at the end of a syllable. Now, I think I've spoken to you about syllables before, which is the beat in a word, okay? Now, on the back of this sound is a muffin, because muffin, sorry, has two syllables, muffin, and the f sound comes at the end of the first syllable. So muff, in is your second syllable. So because it's the end of a first beat in a word, you need two of them. Don't worry about getting that straight away, but that's just more important when you start to write it. So that's f, and so is one by itself. F, and the action is f, like air coming out of an inflatable fish. So that's our sound of the day. We'll come back to it in a second. Let's have a look at the sounds we now know. A, so our ants on our arm. G, 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 g. Oh, oh. T, t, t. Ah, ah, ah. K, k, k. I. D, d. B, b. R. Two together. Oh, of course, yes, we've spoken about digraphs before because of the k, k sound. And break those eggs. So that's all the sounds we know already. So many, big pile. So nipping back to the sound of the day, let's look at one of them, okay? Now, obviously, if you're watching this and you're not in my class, you don't do cursive. So your sound, and I've had a go at writing at the top here for you, looks like this, okay? So you would start at the top, curve round like a candy cane and put across. But I don't want you to do that if you're in my class. I want you to do the cursive one. And although it looks tricky, it's not. It's quite fun to write. So magic fingers out. You start here. You whoosh up, but also kind of across as well. Do a loop backwards. Go straight down low and then loop back this way and through the line you've already done. So cursive whoosh up, loop backwards, go down and loop through like that. And that is our cursive f. Let's have a go at writing it on our boards. Have a go watching me. So I whoosh up, but also kind of forwards, can you see? And then I loop backwards. I go down low and then loop back that way and come through. And that's my cursive. There it is. Let's have another go. There's my wiper. So I cursively whoosh up and go round, go down low and loop through. And there is my cursive. One more time. So it's quite good fun to do. You don't have to take your pen off. It's quite wiggly and quite good fun. Whoosh up, loop backwards, go down low and loop back the other way. Draw a line through the one you've already done. And there it is, cursive. Okay, practice after the lesson. Do lots of goes at doing it because it is a fun and cool letter to write. Okay, let's also revisit quickly. Let's revisit a p, p. So remember with a p, we have to whoosh up, go down lower than your cursive whoosh where you started, back up to the top, round and tickle the belly to finish. And that is your p. Let's also revisit a r. It's quite a nice easy one to write. It's just that little hook on the end of a cursive one. So whoosh up, go straight down, back up to the top, over with a little hook on the end if you're doing a cursive r. Let's also revisit b because we did b in our last lesson, I believe. So remember with b, we do the bat first. So we whoosh up tall for the straight stick like bat. Then we go up only halfway because then we're going to go and do the ball afterwards and then tickle the belly to finish. So that is your b. Okay, let's do a h as well because that was in our last lesson. Remember, h looks just like an n but with a taller stick. Don't draw the stick on afterwards. You just keep going with your pen a bit higher before you come back down, okay? So don't want any sticks being drawn on afterwards. Our pen should stay on the whole time. So whoosh up tall, come back down, up halfway before you do your arch. Don't go right up to the top again, otherwise you'll be doing a big n. Up to the point halfway, so you've got a big stick left, and then go over and do your arch, okay? And that is your... Have a go at all of those at the end of the lesson if you need a bit of extra practice. That will be marvellous. Okay, so I want to show you how these might look in some words so that you can see what I mean about using two of them at the end of a word and only one if it's at the beginning. Okay, so for instance, if I wrote this word with today's sound of the day first, then another single sound and another single sound. So we have got today's sound of the day, fun, fun. And because it's the f sound at the beginning of a word, we just use the one. Okay, so there's our one because it's at the beginning. Now, if the f sound comes at the end, chances are it will probably be two of them together. So the digraph, two making the one f sound. So if I wrote the word huff, like the big bad wolf might huff, I have got, as you can see, a single h, then a single but then because f comes at the end, it's the two, it's the digraph, even though they're only making one f sound. But at the end, you need two, the end of a word. So huff. We don't say f. We just do one. Huff. Okay, so that is our sound of the day. Let's have a go now. We'll have some sentences at the end that will have the sound of the day in, so look out for it, but it will look slightly different because it won't be cursive. So I'll remind you of that when we come to the sentences. But for now, I want to have a go at playing full circle. Now, we did this once before with magnetic letters, and it's where we start off with one word and I write it, but then we change it to a new word, but only one of the letters needs to change, and then we end up coming full circle back round to the word we started with. So let's have a go. The first one on my full circle is going to be this one. So I have this single sound at the beginning, followed by this single sound, followed by this single sound. So I have got r, n, run. I've got run. There is run. Now, if I wanted to change run to bun, like a currant bun, I'm only going to need to get rid of one sound. I've got run. I want bun. Which one do I need to change? It is my first sound. So I don't want run. I want a word that rhymes with run. I want bun. So, well, that's not my best but, is it? Hold on a second. Let's do that again. It's in danger of looking like a kicking k. Here we go. So I've changed one letter, the r, and I've changed it for b. So now I've got bun, just by changing one letter. Okay, next up, shall we go for, let's see, let's change it to but. So I've got bun. I want so I need to change the n, and if I'm writing but, what can you hear on the end? Should go on the end. But. Okay, now I'm going to change but to bit. So I've got but. I want it, bit. So I need to change the middle one this time. So get rid of the Let's change it to an I. If you noticed that before I said it, well done. But it, bit. Fabulous. Now let's change bit to hit. I've got but it, bit. I want it, hit. Which one do I need to change for hit? It. I need to change the first one. So I want to get rid of my b, and I want to change it to a, so that I've got it, hit. There we are, bit to hit. Now let's change hit to him. I've got it. I want him. What do I need to change? Him. I need to change the t. I don't want him anymore. I want it. Him. Him. Right, let's change him to dim. If the lights are getting a bit darker, it's getting dim. I've got it. I want dim. What do I need to change to get dim? I need to get rid of this, and I need to change it for a d. So I start like a curly k, but I go tall down the side and flick, and I've got dim. Okay, now let's change dim. We're getting there. We're nearly gone full circle to din. Din. When something's making a loud noise, it's making a din. I've got I want din. What do I need to change? I need to get rid of the and I need to make it a din, a dreadful noise, a din. Okay, let's change din to sin. I've got din. I want sin. Sin. What do I need to change? I don't want my d anymore. I want to change it for sin. There we go. Sin. Okay, let's change sin to sun. We're nearly full circle. I've got sin. I want sun. What do I need to change? This is the trickier one because it is the middle sound and they're the hardest to hear. So I want sun. What's in the middle? It is an sun. Okay, now full circle. I'm coming back to the word run, where I started. I've got sun, but I want run. What do I need to get rid of? What don't I need? I've got sun, I want run. I need to get rid of the s, and I need to change it to, if I want run, I need a r at the beginning of its little hook on the end. So I've got run. And I've gone full circle all the way back to run. Well done. If you could pick out some of those, that's very, very marvellous of you. Okay, so going back to sound of the day. Can be two of them, can be one of them, but still just the f sound. Now, I'm going to show you a sentence here, and actually it's in my carry bag. Bear with me a moment. Where is it? Here it is. Sorry, I've had to bring all this home from school. So, you're going to be looking for it as one of them or two of them, but just making the one f sound. Now, I will point out that it's here, look, but it doesn't look like our cursive one with lots of loops on. It's just the one I showed you before that comes around like a candy stick with a line across it. But that is still the f sound. That's how it will look in your reading books because they won't be cursively written. Okay, so look out for those. They are the f sound of the day. So here's your first sentence. Lovely capital letter. Lovely finger spaces in between. Oh, and punctuated with one of those. I haven't seen those in a while. A line straight down with a dot at the bottom is an exclamation mark. Can you say exclamation mark? That means you're probably saying it in either a bossy way or sometimes you're saying it in an excited way. I think this is being bossy. So you can pause the video and have a go at reading this sentence by yourself, which is brilliant if you can. Look out for the tricky word in there that we've looked at before. But I'm going to do it with you now. So this is a capital G. Okay, now we're not used to seeing the capitals much. This is normally when we see them in the sentences. This is a strange looking letter, isn't it? G. Doesn't look much like the g that we know. So G, et, get, o, sound of the day, off, off. Get off, tricky word that we have to poke our tongue out for, the. Get off the bus. Bus. Get off the bus. It's a bossy sentence. Our exclamation mark is telling us to be bossy. Okay, sentence number 2. Have a look at this one. There are digraphs. I can spot a digraph here. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for those digraphs. Have a look for the sound of the day. I don't think it's here as 2 of them, it's here as 1 of them. So have a look. We've got capital I at the beginning, we've got finger spaces, and we're punctuated with a full stop. So it's not a bossy sentence this time. So pause the video and have a really good go at reading it by yourself. I'm going to read it with you now. It is, sound of the day, fun, tricky word to, sit, back, tricky word to, it is fun to sit back to, back. It is fun to sit back to, back. Oh, okay, if you insist. Right, our last sentence, and it's a bit shorter, this sentence here. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. Lovely capital at the beginning here, the tricky word I. We've also got sounds of the day popping up here as well. So have a go at blending this by yourself. Pause the video. I'm going to do it with you now. I, can, sound of the day, huff, and, puff. I can huff and puff. Fantastic! Well done if you had a real good crack at reading those sentences. I am so impressed as to how far you've come in less than 6 weeks. We've only got 2 more lessons left on phase 2, and then you can go on, if you're watching this at home, to the group 2 phonics sessions that I've uploaded onto YouTube, because that will be the next phase, phase 3. So tune into the next 2 that are group 1, then after that you can look for the group 2 ones starting from lesson 1, and that will mean you're working on phase 3. So fantastic work there, guys. I will see you again tomorrow with another new sound. Take care. Bye-bye.